These young Vietnamese came to Germany legally through recruitment agencies to find work, but not all of them have had positive experiences. I had to sleep in a cellar.
Again, it's too easy for the market to be manipulated. Too easy.
Yet there are recruitment agencies that try to create fair conditions. But how does it work? This is the legal route. Recruitment agencies arrange vocational training placements, visas, and often accommodation as well. Hundreds advertise their services on TikTok.
Everything has shifted to Facebook, it's shifted to TikTok, it's shifted to chat groups. So the recruitment is taking place online now.
They not only offer jobs, but a better future, beautiful homes, good money and luxury cars.
People think everyone in Germany drives a Mercedes or a BMW. In almost every interview, I'm asked whether it's true. No, it isn't.
Once they arrive, however, many soon discover that Germany's cold, the food's unfamiliar, the accommodation basic, and not everyone drives a BMW. That can be especially disappointing because getting to Germany isn't easy. Anyone who wants to work in a care home, for example, first has to learn German in Vietnam. Language courses alone can take up to a year, and applicants have to pay for them themselves. Including language school, the total costs comes to around €7,000, a fortune in Vietnam. Recruitment agencies typically charge around €2,000 to place someone in a job in Germany. Legally, that fee should be paid by the future employer, but many agencies collect the money from the young Vietnamese applicant instead. Around 20,000 Vietnamese are currently enrolled in vocational training in Germany, the largest group of international trainees. They are vital to Germany's labour market. According to forecasts, the country will be short of more than 700,000 skilled workers by 2027. The biggest shortages are expected in retail, childcare and social work, but unreliable recruitment agencies in Vietnam have left many trainers wary. Bang wants to become a nurse. He came to Germany 3 years ago at a cost of around €8,000. He lived in Chemnitz and attended a vocational school in eastern Germany. But for his placement at a care home, he repeatedly had to travel more than 600 kilometres to Flensburg in the north. There, he says, he spent weeks sleeping in a cellar. It wasn't a proper apartment. There were no windows. The heating barely worked. It was really hard. For migration expert Mimi Vu, Bang's story is all too familiar.
Where he's being put right now in the cellar, those are the accommodations I usually see for people who are being exploited for labor, who are in modern slavery, who are actual victims of exploitation.
Couldn't Bang simply have found another placement?
He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't speak German. He is in debt. He's stuck. So he just has to figure out a way to keep going. But that is where he is very vulnerable now because he can easily be exploited. If he goes back to Vietnam, he's lost faith.
His money's gone and the agency responsible for his placement has disappeared. Bang eventually dropped out of his apprenticeship and is now trying to make a fresh start elsewhere. Tuk, on the other hand, has made a success of her move. The 26-year-old is training to become a nurse. She received intensive support from agency Alma Recruiting after arriving in Stockach just 2 months ago.
I love living here. It's peaceful and the scenery is beautiful. Anytime I've had a lot of stress or need some quiet time, I go over there.
She shares an apartment with 3 others. So, what does Alma Recruiting do differently? The agency carefully matches trainees with employers right from the application stage.
But to be fair, most of the students that we talked to didn't know anything about the job and why they really want to apply for it in the first place. And I think it's mostly because they got told to do so. It's the best salary, it's the best path, it's the easiest, it's whatever. We have to interview at least 100 students in order to feel like 5 of them are qualified, right? So 1 in 20.
Preparing applicants for the realities they'll face in Germany. That's what sets a reputable agency apart.
It's almost as if they're trying to convince them not to go to Germany. It's cold. It's expensive. When they arrive, they take them to their accommodations. They take them to the employers. They make sure they have bank accounts and registered for a mobile phone. Make sure they can contact their families back home. And then they follow up and make sure that they are settling in well, not just at their jobs, but also in their daily life.
But Alma Recruiting also has to make money. Their recruitment fee is around €3,000 paid by the employer.
First of all, they have to understand that recruiting is not for free if you want to do it sustainably, because it takes a lot to not only help qualify and find the right person, but also to build the bridge and integrate them in order for them to arrive in a way that they are not only prepared, but also can stay and sustain and build a really good career.
Tuk's working day starts early at the care home. Her trainer, Angela Costa, shows her the way.
You can see Tuk needs practical experience. She gets the theory at school, but the practical training happens here. That's how the two come together. Theory alone is difficult to apply, especially for someone coming from abroad. At the beginning, it was very difficult for me. I had to learn a lot before my first day here.
Cultural differences can be just as tough as language barriers.
If you go to work in Germany, if you don't ask the question, it means you understood it, right? If you don't ask the question in Vietnam, it doesn't mean you understood it. It means that you're going to go take it, you go home and you study it. So there's a huge misunderstanding in that, and if you'd understood it, then the expectation is that you can do everything fine, right?
Tuk's story shows how important close support is for a successful apprenticeship and how it can protect people from exploitation. But as long as the system remains largely unregulated, people like Bang will continue to fall through the cracks.